Start writing, no matter what. The water does not flow until the faucet is turned on. Ignorance is the night of the mind, but a night without moon or star. You can't be brave if you've only had wonderful things happen to you. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. A lion chased me up a tree, and I greatly enjoyed the view from the top. Your vision will be blurry, but it will grow clear with time. Your sacred space is where you can find yourself over and over again. No matter how safe and beautiful it is, a cage is still a cage. Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. Fez est ab host docere. One should learn even from one's enemies. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. If you know both yourself and your enemy, you can win 100 battles without a single loss. By nature, men are nearly alike. By practice, they get to be wide apart. The better organized the state, the duller its humanity. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. One half of the world cannot understand the pleasures of the other. All I do is lie, and that has made me immune to compliments. Patience is the only way you can endure the gray periods. Life is too short when you think of the length of death. Your own positive future begins in this moment. All you have is right now. Every goal is possible from here. Sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. I finally figured out the only reason to be alive is to enjoy it. Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. Being born is like being kidnapped and then sold into slavery. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. Reason may be employed to support faith as well as to destroy it. Things joined by profit, when pressed by misfortune and danger, will cast each other aside. Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. Everything in life is speaking in spite of its apparent silence. A kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being, nor can the dead ever be brought back to life. Maybe some things aren't meant to be known. Maybe they're just meant to be accepted. One mistake does not have to rule a person's entire life. Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. Generally in war, the best policy is to take a state intact. To ruin it is inferior to this. If you're waiting until you feel talented enough to make it, you'll never make it. A star is not honored for its size, but for its light. Keep their friends close and their enemies closer. Search of truth is actually a search of strength to handle the truth. Bad habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to get into, but hard to get out of. A man should look for what is and not for what he thinks should be. To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is a disgrace. Genius is measured not by static volume, but by kinetic vision. Sometimes I think my head is so big because it is so full of dreams. Don't react, cut them off silently. The best knowledge is knowing yourself and your inner being. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Wake up with determination. Go to bed with satisfaction. The elegance under pressure is the result of fearlessness. Where the army is, prices are high. When prices rise, the wealth of the people is exhausted. In the desire to control others, we lose control over ourselves. A tiny change today brings a dramatically different tomorrow. In the end, you should always do the right thing, even if it's hard. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. It does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop. A real scientist solves problems, not wails that they are unsolvable. If the enemy has occupied them before you, do not follow him, but retreat and try to entice him away. Don't worry about being effective. Just concentrate on being faithful to the truth. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbor's roof when your own doorstep is unclean. War is a matter of vital importance to the state. You know, there's no such thing as a complete lie. There's always some truth in there. Be wiser than other people if you can, but do not tell them so. Perhaps home is not a place, but simply an irrevocable condition. The gods are fond of the cryptic and dislike the evident. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. Your highest thoughts sometimes arise in your lowest moments. Stay calm. You've been through this before. You'll get through it again. Management of many is the same as management of few. It is a matter of organization. True words are not fancy. Fancy words are not true. The good do not debate. Debaters are not good. Better to get hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Only knowledge can turn life's unbearableness into a weapon. If a man could have half of his wishes, he would double his troubles. After your death, you will be what you were before your birth. Cherish those who seek the truth, but beware of those who find it. When inequality takes root, a garden of problems flourishes. We reveal most about ourselves when we speak about others. If the mind is willing, the flesh could go on and on without many things. What keeps life fascinating is the constant creativity of the soul. Look for the good in every person and every situation. You'll almost always find it. The only source of knowledge is experience. If you are untrustworthy, people will not trust you. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. It's not whether you got knocked down, it's whether you get back up. The petty thief is imprisoned, but the big thief becomes a feudal lord. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. Never stop acquiring the common sense. It is as good as the knowledge. Sand lines my soul, which is filled with the breath of the ocean. An opinion should be the result of thought, not a substitute for it. We are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. Where attention goes, energy flows. Where intention goes, energy flows. Respond intelligently, even to unintelligent treatment. Once friends as batchmates, but now different batches divide us. I had forgotten how much light there is in the world till you gave it back to me. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. You will never know how high you can climb until you reach the top. Have enough courage to start and enough heart to finish. If you are strong, appear weak, but if you are weak, appear strong. If a man takes no thought about what is distant, he will find sorrow near at hand.